Welcome to Business 370, Management Science. This is Professor Dean, and I will be guiding you through the course for this semester. Management Science, what is it? It is a quantitative course, and it is a course that we are going to look at multiple different types of quantitative methods in order to make better decisions. Ideally better business decisions, since we are in the business school. And so we're going to do this with the use of software. In particular, we will be using Excel with some customized add-ins. The add-in should work for both Windows version of Excel as well as the latest Mac version of Excel. So there are 5 broad topics that we are going to cover in management science. So there are 5 topics. The first being, the one that we're going to look at first, is called decision analysis. And what that does is we will be using some probability and statistics that you learned back in Business 275, Applied Business Analysis, to look at trade-offs and also be looking at conditional probabilities, which we did not get to in Business 275, but we will have to look at conditional probabilities, and also look at payoff tables and decision trees. So decision trees, we're going to draw some nice trees that go out and we come up with some money, right? So that'll be fun. The next topic that we're going to cover is forecasting. Forecasting is simply trying to predict the future. So what is the future? In particular, we're going to be looking at time series. That means we have a bunch of data points spaced throughout time that we're trying to actually determine if it can help us predict what's going to happen in the future. Then we're going to look at queuing theory. This is just simply waiting lines. You encounter them everywhere you go. So we're going to look at a couple of specialized models for queuing theory to help us understand why we have to wait in lines. Next up is my favorite, linear programming, or for short, just LP. We're also going to look at integer linear programming, but this looks at, we have some assumptions that we'll have to talk about for all of these models, not just for this. And then we can optimize, maximize profit, minimize cost, minimize time, things like that, using a system of linear equations. And software for that is very, very fun. And then the final broad topic that we're going to cover is project scheduling. And we do this because projects, you're going to run into them every time when you go out into the real world. So how can we schedule projects so that we stay on time and on budget? So we're going to look at 2 different techniques, PERT and CPM. The differences between them are somewhat blurred nowadays, but we will discuss those. So those are the 5 broad topics that we're going to cover in Business 370. It should be a fun semester.